puppet for your daddy's gun.
Red sun rises like an early warning.
The Lord's gonna come for your firstborn son.
His hair's on fire and his heart is burning.
So go to the river where the water runs.
Wash him deep where the tides are turning.
And if you fall, and if you fall, hold my hand. Ooh, baby, it's a long way down to the bottom of the river. Hold my hand. Ooh, baby, it's a long way down, a long way down. The wolves will chase you with the pale moonlight.
Drunk and driven by a devil's hunger.
Drive your son like a railroad spine
Into the water, let it pull him under.
But though you lift him, let him drown alive.
The good Lord speaks like a rolling thunder.
Let that fever make the water rise.
Let the river run dry.
Hold my hand. Ooh, baby, it's a long way down to the bottom of the river. Hold my hand. Ooh, baby, it's a long way down, a long way down. Hold my hand. Ooh, baby, it's a long way, a long, long, long way. Hold my hand. Ooh, baby, it's a long way down, a long way down.
Thank you. My dance partner on and off for the last 7 years, Kelly Howard. My name is Wren LaFeet, and thank you for coming here today. The title of my talk is Pioneering the New Renaissance Through Movement. I'm a dancer and an artist with a deep investment in what I consider to be our planet's greatest natural resource, us. I come here as a representative of a cultural movement as well as an individual, a movement that is using dance and music as a launch pad for evolving our society. Dance is a very immediate and ephemeral form. The moments of beauty are gone almost as soon as they appear, yet their effect on us can be profound because their nature is of the body, of that which is common to all humans. Something visceral is transferred to us by watching others in motion, as if we were the ones moving. And when we dance for fun, freeform, without planning, we experience that activation in our whole being. And when we engage in movement with another in partner dance, we are given the experience of sharing that heightened state in relationship and co-creative union. Now, social partner dance has been an integral facet of societies throughout history. In the United States, swing dancing helped define an era. In the Cultural Revolution of the 60s, freeform partner dance was given a popularity which continues gaining momentum to this day. In her talk, Tending the Sacred Fire at TEDx Black Rock City, Shiva Ray points out that more people are engaged in freeform dance today than ever before in our civilization's history. Galvanized around gathering to dance, groups of all ages around the world are co-creating community, valuing authentic connection, communication, and right relationship with one another. We dance as a way to know each other on a level that transcends words. We listen and understand in a different way when we are connected to another person, physically. This form of heightened, immediate communication develops an intimacy with our own bodies, those of others, and the earth we dance on that is transforming our awareness. Now, people have different reasons for going out, participating in social dance, as varied as they are in their taste for food. I began to learn Lindy Hop in 1999 through my passion for musical theater. San Francisco's vibrant dance halls, still humming with the swing revival of the early 90s, were the perfect training ground for my role in the timeless tale of West Side Story. People from all walks of life came out to dance. Computer programmers, dot-commers, massage therapists, college professors, and high school students in love with the 1993 film Swing Kids. In my 13-year journey with dancing, There have been many reasons that I've kept up with it. I now dance because I believe that dancing in partnership with another person, with movement with others, brings us closer to the realization that fundamentally we are all the same. We're all one. For me, the new Renaissance looks like a gigantic dance floor of bare earth, where people of all cultures, professions, religious beliefs, and sexual orientations can come to express themselves free of judgment, be heard, and have their feelings and ideas reflected back to them respectfully and in cooperation rather than competition. How many people here like music? It's good. That's a good number. Yeah. Music is an incredibly powerful force in our world. It has the power to make us laugh, make us cry, collapse, and best of all, jump out of our seats and start moving in incredibly complex ways without making so much as a pit stop in our brain's higher reasoning center. Our bodies just respond to it. In a study of 120 babies, when exposed to rhythmic music, every single one began moving their bodies to the rhythm of the music. It's in our DNA to celebrate our physical existence by, in so many words, shaking what our mama gave us. All right? In swing and salsa, tango, waltz, and many other traditional partner dances, there is a pattern step that largely determines the movement of couples. Still, it's up to a lead to interpret the music and make decisions about when those moves happen, and it's up to a follow to interpret their direction and respond in their own unique fashion. This process of making rapid-fire decisions actually reprograms dancers' neural pathways, increasing intelligence, making them more agile mentally, and, as studies show, more resilient to the onset of the diseases of old age. I use gender-neutral pronouns on purpose because in this culture that we are co-creating, there is an alchemy of gender occurring in which we no longer choose to associate leading with masculine and following with feminine. Men lead men, and women, women. And the lead and the follow can change many times in one partnership. So, what happens when we take away that basic step and we replace it with non-patterned, improvised movement rooted in connection and common vocabulary, and in place of traditional music, we layer in, whatever we're feeling at the moment. Maybe transcendental acoustic rock and roll. Suddenly, the decisions and cues we have to make and pay attention to become a lot more complex. We're not choosing a pattern to latch onto. We're just responding to each other's ideas. Together we run until the day runs out, tomorrow don't come. But now I crave around me her life. So a conversation can start to emerge in which no one's following and no one's leading. We're just listening to each other and responding to each other's ideas. And those ideas are generated by the music that we're listening to and driven by it. We're engaged in synesthesia, the act of hearing and the act of feeling and seeing music and sound as movement in the body. I had to get that one out. Thanks. We are inventing a language that transcends linguistic and cultural barriers, a language that empowers us to connect and affect each other positively and powerfully by means of an energetic exchange. There's a genuine investment from the other person, and because we're connecting so intimately, our experience becomes more layered and complex, and likewise, more meaningful. The whole of human experience begins to come through our dance. Through participating in, teaching, and discussing partner dance, I have experienced, shared, and facilitated incredible insights into personal relationships, self-healing, quantum physics, discrete energy systems in the body, spirituality, cultural anthropology, dynamics of social structure, and helping the building of social skills. So along with this gender alchemy, we're also experiencing this massive cultural alchemy. These different styles of dance and music are coming together to create something altogether new. All these communities are coming together and sharing ideas. The tango and swing communities are going to blues dances and vice versa. Hip-hop and club dancers are discovering salsa and swing. More North Americans are developing yoga practices every day. The blues and tango and swing dancers, who are the computer programmers and massage therapists, project managers, and business advisors, are journeying to Burning Man and Lightning in a Bottle, and Envision Festival, and scores of other transformational festivals that are popping up every year, championing the elevation of human consciousness. And they're coming back with, in addition to a new perspective, all this ridiculous music. Right? Ridiculous in a really good way. And as we dance to it, it's making us think faster and requiring us to be clearer in our communication. It's allowing us to claim our freedom to express ourselves and have our own experience within a partnership, while fostering trust and intimacy. We're not adhering to any one culture, we're accepting them all and creating a new one as we dance through the differences. We're using dance as a metaphor for life and a tool by which to navigate through it. And as we create and teach this language together, the goal is to teach each other how to speak, not what to say. We're empowering one another to find our own voices amidst the chorus, learn how to blend and craft duets and take solos. And whatever tune inspires us to sing it loudly. I'm going to invite Kelly back out here for a short performance of what we like to call dancing together. As of yet, we've not been able to find a term that encapsulates what we do and have everyone agree on it. The challenges of community. And I guess we're going to bend the rules by taking off our shoes on the stage. So thank you, and enjoy the day.